Welcome to another episode of Hawktown Haunts, where we dive deep into the world of misunderstood cinema and uncover the hidden gems and untold stories. Today, we're going to explore the enigmatic Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. This film is quite different from the other Halloween movies, as it doesn't feature Michael Myers, and takes a unique approach, an approach some fans love, and others not so much. So grab your pumpkin mask, and let's unravel Halloween 3. Now, to understand Halloween 3, we must go back to its origins. Released in 1982, this installment was intended to turn the Halloween franchise into an anthology series, with each film telling a different Halloween-themed story. Unfortunately, this concept was misunderstood by many fans, leading to some initial disappointment. When you think about it now, Halloween 3 was ahead of its time. If the scenario played out today, I think fans would be ready for something like this. Back in '82, however, it didn't go over so well.
I had a couple of stinker sequels on my list, including Halloween 3, a boring, slow-paced thriller about a plan to fry the brains of the nation's youth.
Here are 5 reasons to watch Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
It's 4 days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. It's 4 days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
First, it's a standalone story. Unlike the other Halloween films, Halloween 3 doesn't feature Michael Myers. It's a standalone story offering a fresh and unique perspective within the Halloween franchise. Look, the Halloween movies are a bit of a convoluted mess. There are 3 storylines, and one of them remains unresolved? Say what you will about Season of the Witch, but it's one and done. Sure, it has an enigmatic ending, but it's still an ending. You don't need to know who Michael Myers is, or whether he's related to Laurie Strode or not.
My brother killed my sister when she was 17.
Well, that's sucky.
Or whether Laurie has a son or a daughter.
What's he waiting for, huh? Okay, Mom, I can't live like this. I'm sorry.
What?
Hey, Jamie, where's your costume?
You just have Tom Atkins, chewing up scenery, getting the girl, even though the shoehorned love story doesn't benefit the movie in any way. And basically being the Tom Atkins we've all fallen in love with. He's a legend. Second, it's a seasonal theme.
It was the start of the year in our old Celtic lands, and we'd be waiting. In our houses of wattles and clay, the barriers would be down, you see, between the real and the unreal. And the dead might be looking in to sit by our fires of turf. Halloween. The festival of Samhain.
The time between the autumnal equinox and Samhain, Halloween, is commonly known as a season of the witch. Of course, Samhain is a period when the veil between life and death is thinnest. The goal of the masks in the movie is to create a mass sacrifice that will usher in a new age of witchcraft. Back in the days of the Druids, crops and animals would be sacrificed. There are some folklore lessons to be learned in this movie. You might need to Google for more complete answers, but at least it's all based on something. One of those things we've thankfully written out of our modern Halloween traditions. Third, it's got a creepy atmosphere.
If you'd like to make a call, please tell that fire in. If you need help, have to dial your operator for assistance.
Halloween 3 maintains a spooky atmosphere with a sense of impending doom. If this had just been marketed as a horror movie without that Halloween brand attached, it would have been a success. It's a solid movie that's well made and definitely conveys the sense of dread movies like Invasion of the Body Snatchers instilled. In fact, Santa Mira was the original setting for Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and it was used here in Halloween 3 as a nod to Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It has so many iconic scenes and sounds, those commercials anyone? In some ways, it's hindered by the weight of that Halloween title. Had it just been allowed to be a movie set around Halloween, the discussion would have been quite different. Fourth, it's got a classic 80s vibe. If you appreciate 80s horror films, Halloween 3 captures the essence of that era with its style, soundtrack, and special effects. Man, half the fun of watching 80s movies is for the style and sound. This movie doesn't disappoint. It's one of those movies that didn't worry about looking dated while it was being made. Unapologetically 80s, from beginning to end. From the synth soundtrack to the clothing. Halloween 3 will take you back in time. Even the masks from the movie seem very 80s to me. You used to get these heavy masks that wouldn't allow any fresh air to get in, and you just slowly suffocate as the night went on. But hey, you got candy along the way. Fifth, it's got a cult following. Despite its initial mixed reception, the film has gained a cult following over the years, making it a must-see for fans of cult cinema, or those curious about its evolution. Back at that time, before streaming, and even really before home video had gone big, cable TV played the crap out of movies that didn't do well at the box office. And sometimes you'd realize why it didn't make money. And sometimes you'd think, why did people hate this? Season of the Witch benefits from those early cable days of forcing people to watch it repeatedly. It found fans, and those fans have espoused the benefits of watching the movie, and that fan base has kept growing. Some would say this movie might be more beloved than many of the other entries in the Halloween series. So, give it a watch if you're looking for a different take on the Halloween franchise. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.